All right, so we're recording now. So we're going to get started. So we're going to start today on our backs in Shavasana. So just lie down. You can prop with pillows, blankets, whatever you need to do. You just want to find a comfortable place. We're just going to take a moment to center. Just start to become mindful of this moment, this time. After you lie down, begin to feel the weight of your body settle in, and we'll start to tune in to our 3 anchors of mindfulness. Becoming aware first of our breath. Feeling the movement at the nostrils, the abdomen. Then notice the movement of the breath at the nostrils and the lungs. How are your lungs feeling today? How are your nostrils? Are they plugged? Are they open? Just noticing these things about yourself. This helps us guide our practice. Then take a body scan and notice the quality of your body. Noticing those little physical sensations that you might be feeling. Even the sensations under your skin. And then finally, your mind, the quality of your thoughts, emotions. Then after identifying areas of your body that could benefit from some attention from your breath, let's give it the attention that it needs. Let your full breath bring energy. Let the rhythm of your breath bring calmness, peace, joy. And for any areas that feel tight or stuck physically, guide your breath to those spaces. Allow every inhale to create a sense of space, every exhale to release tension. Then after taking care of yourself, move into your controlled yoga breathing. Inhale completely. Exhale completely. So you're trying to fill to the very bottom of your lungs, and with every exhale, you're trying to push all that sterile air out. Allow that full breath to become even. Length of inhale matches length of exhale. And smooth. Each breath flows right into the next. And as you rest here in your yoga breath, let's talk a little bit about our theme for today, which is heart opening. So we're going to open our hearts. Since next week is Valentine's Day, we want to feel the love. So that's what our focus is going to be today, just so we're prepared for next week. Heart opening is not just a physical thing, but it's also the energy it can produce. Love and respect for oneself and others, compassion and emotion. Physically, we're stretching the deeper connecting tissues of the arms, the shoulders, the chest, and upper spine, and abdomen, which all stimulates the heart. Today, we're going to learn to stay still, calm, focused, and aware, and stretched in every posture. So hopefully by the end of today's sequence, you'll be feeling more love, a little bit more compassion, understanding for yourself and for others. So let's get started with some movement. Start to wiggle your fingers, your toes, your head and neck, waking your body up. Then open up to your full body symmetrical stretch, grow your spine. Press out through the soles of your feet and reach your fingers back. Get some length here. Then on your next exhale, we're going to hug the knees into the chest, a couple of rocks side to side. And then we're going to go right into some action here. So with your hands behind your knees, we're going to make a shift from side to side to forward and back along the length of the spine. So we're going to rock and roll, right? We usually do this each week when we're coming up to our seat. So your movement might be big. It might be very tiny, depending on whatever issues that you're dealing with. So just see if you can find your best movement here. Have some fun with it. Energize the body. Build some heat. Now we're going to come to our feet. So if you think you might be able to rock up to your seat and then your feet, go for it. That's always fun to try. And if you can't quite get there, just come to your feet and to ragdoll. Whatever way gets you there. So we're already right on our feet today. Some days we spend longer on the floor. Today, we're going right up into action. Standing action. Let your upper body just hang out over those bent knees. The arms can hang, the head and neck. Just loosen up here. Maybe you want to hang on to biceps, sway side to side. Find what works for you. Nice. Sometimes we like to just hold still, right? And let gravity do the work, pulling us a little deeper over those legs. On your next exhale, knees are going to stay bent. Let's roll up the spine. Nice. All right. So now we're going to find our standing posture, mountain pose. Toes at 12 o'clock, feet hips width. Make your adjustments, lift your toes, press into that shoebox, right? The four corners of your feet, spiraling. You can think about those inner ankle bones spiraling inward and toward the back wall, or your thighs, however gets you there, right? Where you feel like you're screwing your feet into the floor. Feel strong and secure. Hip points to ribs, growing the spine, drawing the shoulders back, down and in. Crown of the head to the ceiling. Breathe. So as you rest here in mountain pose, you're going right back into those 3 anchors of mindfulness. Notice if there's any changes. We haven't spent a lot of time on the floor, but you're going to always feel a little bit different when you change your position of your body, right? Changing the position of the body in any sort of physical activity changes the intensity, varies it a little bit. On your next inhale, let's take the arms up overhead. Interlace your fingers, press your palms to the ceiling. From here, we're going to take an exhale and we're going to side bend up and out to the right. So you're pressing your palms to that right wall and ceiling crease. Ground down through your left foot. Keep your abdominals engaged. And just breathe. Now we can make this a little bit more intense, if you'd like, by sort of rotating this left rib cage up toward the ceiling a little bit more, and maybe turning the gaze toward the ceiling. Breathe. Now return to center. Swing the arms. All right, now let's do the same thing to the other side. Arms come high. Interlace. Up and over. Rotate your rib cage. And turn your gaze. Hold it there. Stay with your breath. Deep, even, smooth. And return back to center, arm swings. All right, now let's stretch across the hip here. So we're going to start with our feet hips width. Ground down into your right foot. We're going to take that left foot. You're going to step it behind at a diagonal. So it's almost like I have my right foot on the left rail of a railroad track and my left foot's on the right rail, right? So I'm crossed over. Bring a bend to that right knee. Then from here, we're going to press up and over to the left again. Pressing that left hip out. See if you can feel a stretch all the way across that hip. Takes a little balance here too, right? We're working some balance. And return to center, step up. See if you can go right into the other side, working that balance. So now, left foot is on the right rail, right foot's on the left rail. Yeah, that was right. Okay, bend into that left knee, reach up and over, pressing that right hip out. Man, talk about confusing, mirroring and switching sides for the feet. I'm never going to know my right from left anymore. And return back to center. Step up, back to mountain pose. Take your big inhale. On your exhale, forward fold flow. Long spine, hinging at the hip. You can close your eyes here, connecting movement to breath, right? We know that always helps to activate the parasympathetic nervous system. Next time you fold, hold. On your next inhale, we're going to rise all the way up. Release your arms. We're going to step out to mat swift now. So what I want you to notice here are your heels on the outer edges of the mat. Toes are pointed out about 45 degrees. So we're going to work a star pose. We're going to try to hold for 10 breaths. This is going to be a challenge. So I'm going to count the breaths with you. If you need to come out and shake those arms out, you can do that, but see if you can hold it for the 10 breaths. So let's inhale the arms up, big Y. Press into your feet. Activate your thighs. Activate your belly. Lift your chest. Hold it here. We're going to start. Inhale. 3, 2, 1. Exhale. 3, 2, 1. Inhale. 3, 2, 1. Exhale. 3, 2, 1. Inhale. 3, 2, 1. Exhale. 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 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 3, 2, 1. Last breath. Inhale, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. Step the feet together. Swing those arms. So you should feel fatigued, right? Out of breath. I know I am just holding that. So just shake it all out. Bring that blood flow back to the fingertips. Whatever you need to do. Because now we're going to add another challenge. We're not going to hold for 10 breaths, but I'm going to hold it for a count of 10. So same thing here. Step your feet wide. We're going to press the sit bones back like you're coming to a horse pose. So bend your knees, press the sit bones back. Now let's take the arms up overhead. Firm belly for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice. Press the knees open or straighten the knees, hinge back, and just come halfway here. Press the spine long. So the feet are still wide, heels are pressing out, hinging those sit bones back. Just take a little stretch here. And then firm up the belly as you rise up. Nice. Step the feet together. And shake it all out. All right. Let's take some hip circles. So nice and big. Pushing back to the side, forward, other side. Other way. All right. Step the feet to hips width, hands to heart. So now we're going to move through our Sun A. Let's take a big breath in. Lift the chest. Exhale, fold. Long, flat back. Next inhale, rise up halfway. Staple your shoulder blades in. Exhale, lower. From here, we're going to step back right foot, then left. Find your plank, knees up or down. Push the floor away. So firm it up here. Your hips, if your knees are lifted, should be even with the shoulders. If the knees are lifted, heels pressing back. Exhale, rock forward. Slowly lower down to your belly. See if you can hug the spine with your rib cage, or the rib cage with your elbows. Press toes into the floor, toenails. Inhale, lift, just the chest. See if you can hover your hands and drag those elbows back without lifting the toes. Exhale, lower down. Send the sit bones back to child's pose, or roll the toes under, plank to down dog. So you're going to go child's pose to tabletop, or plank to down dog. Now we haven't been in down dog yet, so let's bring some movement to it. So whatever you feel you need to do here, if you want to pedal the feet, maybe you want to bend both knees and then straighten. Maybe you want to add a little rotation here, dropping one knee off to the side and then the other. Whatever feels right. Just bring some movement. If you're in tabletop, alternating legs, right? One leg back and then the other, pressing the ball of the foot into the floor. So you're trying to get some length in the back of that leg. Downward dogs will hold. And then inhale. We'll all gaze forward from tabletop or down dog. Step up right foot, then left. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise. Exhale, hands to heart. Nice. Breath in and out. Breath in and out. Now let's move one movement, one breath, left side. Inhale, arms high. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, lower. Inhale, left foot, then right. Plank pose. Exhale, rock forward, lower down. Point the toes behind. Inhale, baby cobra. Exhale, lower. Child's pose to tabletop or plank to down dog. Inhale, gaze forward. Step up left, then right. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise. Exhale, hands to heart. Breath in and out. In and out. So these sun salutations are great for opening up the heart, opening up the lungs, the chest, the breath. So we're going to go through sun A one more time each side. Inhale, arms high. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, lower. Inhale, right foot, then left to plank. Exhale, rock forward, lower down. Inhale, choose your cobra, so baby you're full. Exhale, lower. Child's pose to tabletop or plank to down dog. Inhale, gaze forward. Step up right, then left. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise. Exhale, hands to heart. Breath in and out. Breath in and out. Inhale, arms high. You can do the left side on your own, move with your own breath. So make that connection, breath and body movement. Very nice. All meeting in mountain pose when you're done. Give yourself a moment, rest and reset. All right, now we're going to move through our sun B. We're going to add some movement in our lunge poses today. So keep your blocks nearby. I always forget to remind people, and then we're down in that lunge and then reaching for the blocks. So keep them nearby. Inhale, arms high. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, lower. Inhale, sit bones down and back to chair. Now I'm going to challenge you here in chair. Let's goal post the arms. Elbows even with the shoulders. Chest lifted for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, fold. Beautiful. Come on down. Take a step back with your right foot. Drop down to your right knee. Stack that left knee over the ankle. So there should be some space, right, between the knees. So if you need to wiggle that back knee back, go ahead and do that. Tuck your tailbone. Release downward into your hips. Then take the arms high. And if you'd like, press the chest toward the sky. Exhale, lower down. We're going to step back to plank pose. Next exhale, rock forward, lower down. Inhale, choose your cobra. Exhale, lower. Child's pose to tabletop or plank to down dog. Now from here, we're going to take a three-legged table or dog. So send your right leg high. If you're in that down dog, press that left heel toward the floor. Then bend your knee, stack your hip, one on top of the other. Next inhale, realign your hips. Hold for the exhale. On your inhale, step that right foot up. Come down to your left knee. So stack that right ankle and knee. Come on up, tuck your tail, sink your hips, arms go high. Maybe lift the chest. Nice. Now we're going to lower the arms. This is where I want you to grab a block, place it inside that right foot, and we're going to take the left hand to that block. You decide the height, however high you need it to be. We're sinking into the hips. Let's take that right arm, reach it forward. So we're going to do what's called a horizon lunge. So we're going to follow that arm with our gaze as we reach it back and then circle it back forward. So let's take an inhale all the way up toward the sky, rotate through your rib cage. Then exhale as it comes down and forward. Follow with your gaze. Inhale, all the way up, reach, exhale, down and forward. Couple more. Last one, we're going to take it back, reach, keep your gaze looking back at that hand. You can stay here if you want a little bit more of a challenge. See if you can shift onto the outer edge of your right foot. So you're opening that right knee out. What you don't want is to just crease the ankle. You want to keep that shin and ankle straight in a straight line. And then sink that left hip toward the floor. So find your edge. Then bring that knee back in, come back forward. You can turn your block sideways if you want 2 blocks here, 1 block. You can decide how high you want it. We're going to wiggle that right foot up and out. Now we're going to hinge at the hip crease. So you're coming with a long spine. See if you can bring your elbows or your forearms to the blocks at any height, right? So if you need to stack it even taller, you can turn it that way. If you feel like you can come down lower, you can even come down to the floor if you'd like. Try to keep that right knee in toward the shoulder. Now we're not splaying it out this time. We finished that. Breathe. Nice. Now let's rise up. We're going to wiggle that right foot to center. You can place the blocks on either side of the foot. This time we're going to work Hanumanasana, half split. So on your exhale, press those sit bones back. On your inhale, forward. Exhale, press the sit bones back. Inhale, forward. Continue to move with your own breath. Next time you come back to your half split, we're going to hold. Reaching with those fingers, long spine. If this feels pretty easy to you, pull those toes back toward you. Drag your leg bone in and up into the hip socket. Then we'll come back forward again. We're going to move the blocks over to the side. I want you to come high on this left knee. So come up. And then we're going to take the right leg out to the side. So you're pressing it out to the right side of your mat. We're going to bring the hands to the hips. And we're going to press those sit bones back. So you can come onto the heel of the foot if you like, pressing the sit bones back. So I'm going to turn to the side here just so you can see how my spine is long. I'm reaching the sit bones back. Next challenge, airplane your arms out to the sides. Okay, so we're reaching back with the sit bones, hinge forward, nice. Breathe. Beautiful. Lower the hands. Step that right foot back up to your low lunge. Now we're going to prepare to step up to the top of the mat. Push off of that left foot. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise. Exhale, hands to heart. Breath in and out. Breath in and out. Here we go, left side. Inhale, arms high. Exhale, fold. Be sure those blocks are out of your way so you don't stumble. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, lower. Inhale, chair. Exhale, goalpost. Hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, fold. Take a step back with your left foot. Come down to that left knee. Tuck the tail, sink the hips, and lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, plank. Exhale, rock forward, lower down. Inhale, choose your cobra. Exhale, lower. Child's pose to tabletop or plank to down dog. From here, three-legged table or dog. Left leg going high. Bend your knee, stack your hip. Realign the hips. Hold for the exhale. On your inhale, left foot comes up. Drop down to the right knee. Inhale, arms go high. Lift the chest. On your exhale, this is where we're going to lower that right hand. So taking that block inside the left foot, we're going to prepare for that horizon lunge on this side now. So we're reaching out with the left hand. On your inhale, follow it all the way up, reach it back, rotate, exhale down and forward. Inhale, follow with your gaze as best you can. Exhale, down and forward. Nice, couple more on your own. Moving with your breath, right? Fill those lungs, big inhale. And next time you're reaching back, we're gonna hold. So you can stay right here. Added challenge, little shift onto the outer edge of that left foot. Notice I'm not creased, I'm nice and straight. And then sort of sinking that right hip toward the floor. Exhale, forward. Now, both blocks, or no, actually, yeah, we're gonna turn the block inside. So we're gonna wiggle that right or left foot up and out. So you're either on one block, two blocks, position them how you might. Hinge at the hip, lizard pose. So you're trying to find a place to rest those forearms, keeping that left knee in toward your shoulder. We're not rounding down, right? We're lengthening out through the spine. Find your breath. All right, then we're gonna press up. Wiggle that foot to center. Blocks on either side of the foot. On your exhale, sit bones go back. On your inhale, shifting back forward into that lunge. So we're trying to keep the hands here on the block. So we're stretching the spine as well. Hanumanasana, half split. All right, we're gonna come on back and hold. So this is where you're gonna make your decision. Can you get a little bit more? Can you pull those toes toward the chest? Can you drag that leg bone in and up? Find your own edge. Nice. Inhale forward. We're going to slide those blocks out of the way. Rise upright so you're high on that right knee. And then we're going to take that left leg out to the side. So you're pressing into the heel a little bit here. Hands to the hips. On the exhale, we're going to press the sit bones back. So get that stretch there. Yeah, long spine, so I'm not rounded. I'm lengthening. I'm using my core here. Great core strength. And then airplane the arms if you like. If you're shaking, that's okay. It's building strength. And release down. Step that left foot back up. Low lunge. On your inhale, push off. Actually, no. You know what? I already got you pushing off. But I'm actually going to have you drop down to that knee again. We're going to slide that left foot back and take a child's pose. Sorry, you got a little bit of a transition there then, right? Always building strength. It's all good. Let's take a child's pose. Take a variation of child's pose that serves you. See, this is why I always need to have props and things near me, because my mind changes sometimes midway through. It's like, oh, you know what? Let's do this. Give yourself a moment. Rest and reset here in your child's pose. Next exhale, we're going to roll up the spine. So let's come onto our seats. And we're going to take a diamond pose. So we did a little bit of that last week, right? Soles of the feet together. Now, diamond pose, remember, is when your feet are out a little bit further. So you're creating that diamond. All right. When you bring them in, that's Baddha Konasana or cobbler pose. But when that's out further, diamond pose. All right. So now we're going to press into those sit bones. Grow your spine. On your exhale, hinge at your hip crease. So again, we're trying to get some length here. Once you're down, you can keep your hands wrapped around the toes. Maybe you can walk the fingers further forward. If that's the case for you, go there. Soften your head, breathing into the challenge of the pose. So where are you feeling it? Remember last week we talked about with the legs further out, we feel it a little bit more in the low back, outer hips. If that's where you're feeling the challenge, behind the knees, stretching those muscles and ligaments, supporting your knees. Breathe. Walk the hands back. Just take your block, place it right here in the center of the legs. And if you can bring your forearm to it, your right forearm, we'll take the left hand to the hip and then rotate to the left. So you can press into that forearm a little bit to just get a little rotation. And you can use it at any height, remember. That's the nice thing about the blocks. You have 3 different options. Let's come through center, left forearm, right hand to hip, rotate. So you can push into that forearm to move you a little bit deeper into the rotation. And then return to center. All right, now let's take that block. You can shake your legs out first. Take the block, we're going to sit on it. And we're going to work a wide leg forward fold. So I like to press into my hands, right? Push them into the floor and sort of scoot my hips back a little bit while I'm on the block. So my sit bones are pressing right into the block. I'm not letting my knees fall open, right? I'm pointing those knees, the kneecaps, right up to the ceiling. So settle yourself in, feel strong. Hip points to rib cage. Now, let's start to slowly hinge. walking forward any amount. So you're going to find your edge here. Might be a half an inch. Maybe you're pretty flexible. Maybe you can come down to the forearms. Maybe you can reach those arms walking them out, or maybe you can stack the forearms and rest the head on the forearms. Find your own edge. Play around with it. Give yourself a moment. And then once you're there, we're going to hold with the breath, keeping that breath deep, even, and smooth. Now let's point the toes and flex the toe. Point and pull back. Point and pull back. Couple more. The next time you're pointed, hold. Then pull those toes back and hold. And now we'll walk the hands back. And then we'll slide off the block. So take that out. Give your legs a little shake, because we're going to move into something called log stacking pose. So if you have bad knees or bad hips and you want to make sure you keep a leg straight, one leg straight, both legs straight, play around with it. Doesn't matter if you don't get into it, that's okay. It's better to keep the knees safe. So the first thing we're going to do is bend the left knee so that we're trying to bring that shin parallel to that top edge of the mat. All right. So here, right away, you might feel like, you know what? I want a prop. I want my pillow. I want a block under there. Feel free to prop as needed. All right. If you're good there, we're going to take that right leg. The foot's going to go kind of in that knee crease, and we want that shin parallel. So I'm not pulling it in or pressing it out. I want those legs stacked. So both shins, if you can see, are parallel to the top edge of the mat. Sometimes then, if you notice a pull there, you might want to put a block or a blanket, a pillow, something in between if you have that space there. I have found that if I rest here for a moment, that leg starts to release down. So just whatever feels right for you. Now what we're going to do from here is walk forward. So this is going to give you that sensation that you usually get deep in the hip when you do a pigeon pose. You'll be feeling it more in that right hip. So let's bring the hands out in front. Little hinge. So walk yourself forward. How far can you come? Might not be very far. It's going to restrict you a little bit. Find your edge. Once you get to your edge, that's when you're going to soften your head and use your breath to go to the challenge of the pose. And now let's walk those hands back. All right, now keep those legs. We're going to take a twist. So let's take the left hand behind, grow the spine. Then we're going to rotate navel, rib cage, chest and shoulder, then the gaze. That right hand can rest on the outside of your left thigh. Notice any changes in sensation here. And release. Nice. Let's give the legs a shake. So again, if you can't get both legs bent, you can always be in this position. Let that one knee out if you need to lengthen a leg, or both legs. You're fine. You're doing the same thing, just hinging forward, rotating, okay? So pay attention to your knees. We're not forcing. We're not trying to hurt the knees. It's okay to feel that dull stretch, but if something sharp doesn't feel right, definitely come out of it. So now we're going to do the other side. So now first it's that right shin parallel, propping as needed, foot in the crease of that left leg is going right into that right crease, and you're lining up those shins. Once you find where you want to be for this pose, fingers come forward, and then we're going to hinge. Might notice a difference between the sides. Notice as that hip starts to let go, settling into the pose. Then walk the hands back. Now we're going to take that twist. So right hand behind, grow the spine, rotate navel, rib cage, chest and shoulder, then gaze, using that left hand on the outside of that right thigh. And return to center. Beautiful. Unwind your legs. Little shift side to side. Now make sure your blocks are out of the way because we're coming back to our feet. We're going to do that rock and roll party again, all right? So when you're ready, come onto your back. Start to rock and roll forward and back. If you can, rock up to your seat, your feet. If not, get to your feet whatever way you can. Find yourself in a forward fold. And then on our inhale, we're going to rise all the way back up. Exhale. Take your hands to heart for a moment. Tune into your breath. I notice that Sophie's snoring. Is it bothering anybody, or are we good? Is it okay to leave her there? Okay. Perfect. All right. So just settling in, acclimating back onto our feet. All right. So now we're going to turn to the right edge of our mat. Take your blocks with you. We're going to work balance. So we're going to take a block at each end. So I want to demonstrate quickly. We're not doing this right away, but this is going to be our final standing pose, is that half moon. So I just want to demonstrate to you how to get into it and what your options are. So don't move yet. You don't have to try it yet. I'm just demonstrating. So when we do half moon, you're going to bend the one knee and you're going to have your block stacked at whatever height you need. So right here, we're already working strength, right? We're opening the rib cage. Even if you just stay here, that's fine. If you want to start working the balance, you want to make sure that that block and wrist are under your shoulder. So you're going to press into that front leg, straightening it, and it's going to lift that back hip. What often happens is we have that hip pointing down. We want to start working on opening it up. So that's where it's a little bit more challenging. All right, so you can just work this, working the balance, or if you're steady, you can hold. Opening up the hip, open that shoulder blade. So imagine you're pressing them to that back wall. Then you can take the arm high. All right, so you're pressing the back leg out. So you have lots of different levels, right? You can just work this. You can work this. Or you can work the balance if you can get into it. If you want to go to your wall, you can go up to a wall if you want to move, but not yet, because we have other poses we're doing first. I just wanted to demonstrate that so we had that all covered. All right, so that's where we'll go with that. So now let's work the rest of the poses here. So we're going to start by turning our right toes to the back of the room. Wedge the left. We're finding a warrior two. Bend into that right knee. Arms are going to come out to shoulder height. So find your warrior two. What we're going to work today is what's called archer pose. I figure we're going to find our inner Cupid, right, for Valentine's Day. So I'm going to turn this way just so you can see what I'm doing. You guys can stay where you are. Okay, now we're going to make a light fist with the hands. We're going to take that left arm, bring it out to meet the right fist. So I kind of rotate forward. Then on the inhale, I'm going to pull that left arm back, right? I'm drawing back my bowstring. And then bringing that back forward. Inhale, pull back that bowstring. Elbow stays high. Exhale, bring it forward. Inhale, draw back that bow. Beautiful. Continue a couple more times on your own. Inhale, you're pulling back that bowstring. Exhale, bringing those fists together in front. Nice. So there you are. Cupid, draw back your bow. Pull it back. Yes. Don't let that elbow drop. Now this time we're going to hold. So we're going to pull that bowstring back. Elbow stays high. Don't let it sink. Breathe. Push forward with your right fist, drawing back with that left elbow. Now this time on your inhale, take that left hand, drop it to your back thigh. Right arm's reaching. Keep that bend in the right leg. So reverse warrior, right? Not reverse triangle, it's reverse warrior. Lift your chest, press it to the sky. Beautiful. Now in order to press that chest up, you know that you have to be bringing your hip points to your rib cage. Abs are on. Now let's come back to warrior two. Straighten that right leg. Remember last week when we reached with the right hand and found our triangle. So you're reaching and then windmilling. Grab a hold of that left rib cage, open it up, find triangle pose. So you're pressing the feet away from each other, the tailbone away from the crown, the fingers away from each other. Beautiful. How's your breath? Nice. Bend that right knee, rise back up, warrior two. We're going to pivot, warrior two, to the front of the room. Left knee bends. Wedge the right. Arms out, shoulder height. So set yourself up, put some energy into those legs. Soft fists. Now on your exhale, right fist comes out to meet left. Inhale, pull back your bowstring. Exhale, fist to fist here. Inhale, pull back that bowstring. Continue to move with your breath. So you're closing across the chest and then opening as you pull back. This time, pull back and hold. Check in on that elbow, don't let it sink. Push forward with your left knuckles. Now inhale, right hand to thigh, left hand high-fiving the wall behind you. Try not to pull out of that left knee, keep it bent. Inhale back to warrior. Straighten that left leg. Exhale, reach. And windmill to triangle. Yes. Find that triangle pose. Find that space. Deep breath. Excellent. Now bend back into that knee, warrior two, and release. Shake out the legs, because now comes the challenge. So I'm just going to turn sideways so it's a little easier for you guys to see me. If you want to turn sideways as well, you can do that just so you're not turned to the back of the room. You might be able to see a little bit better. That's your choice. All right. So remember, we're going to start in warrior one. So I know I'm going to do the right leg first. So I want to take that block out in front of my right toes. So I'm going to set up for my warrior two, bending into the right knee. I'm going to take my left hand to hip. And I'm just going to kind of push those back toes forward a little bit so I can bring my hand to the block. Make those adjustments so that the block is under your, or the block and your wrists are under your shoulder. So this might be enough. Opening up that rib cage, working here. If you want to go a little further, see if you can straighten that right leg. That left leg can lift. So now I can either work that kickstand, remember like we usually do in tree, dropping down and lifting up. If that's enough for you, work on that. If you're pretty steady, now we're going to think about that left glute opening up to the wall behind, my left shoulder blade to the wall behind. Then maybe I can take my arm to the sky. Now this can all be done against the wall. If you're against the wall, you might even be able to hover your hand. So work with it. Spend some time here. No worries. It's all just practice, right? So if you're holding it and you start to fatigue, come on out and shake it out if you need to and go back in. If you're just working, if you're working that up and down, that kickstand thing, you're just sticking with that. It's all practice. Just give yourself time. All right. When you're ready, you can soften that knee, step back, and rise up. So you probably need a little shake. Do what you need to do here, hip circles, lots of work. All right. So now we got to do the other side. So now left toes turn out, wedge to the right, bending the knee. You're finding that block, whatever height you need it to be, a chair, whatever you're using. It doesn't matter. Props are wonderful. All right. So hand to the prop. Now you might stay right here, opening up your rib cage, just working that, building that strength. Or maybe you can straighten and lift and then lower. Straighten and lift and then lower. Maybe you feel like you can get that hold. If you have the hold, we want to open that hip up. So glute to wall, shoulder blade to wall, arm high. Hover if you're by the wall. And if you want to try hovering even away from the wall, if you feel really steady, go ahead, see what you can do. The main thing here is finding that openness, right? That openness across the chest, that freedom of expanding and opening the heart. All right, when you're ready to come out, release. Beautiful. I bet you feel ready to come back down to the floor. So that's what we're going to do. Take a big inhale. Exhale, hinge. Step back with one knee, then the other, and take a child's pose of choice. Sometimes after hard work like that, I like to use a bolster or a prop for my child's pose. So I take my knees wide. You can use your blocks and put a blanket on them, or if you have a nice pillow, and just sort of lengthen onto those blocks, let the arms rest. You want to make sure you have enough height so that you're comfortable, but just using some sort of a prop here, if you choose. All right, let's press up. You can move the blocks out of the way from here. We're going to shift off onto the right sit bone. We're going to take that left leg out wide. So that right foot is going to rest inside the inner thigh here. We're just going to do a lateral stretch. So we're going to take the right hand to hip. We're going to exhale, lengthen down that left leg. Inhale back up. Exhale, side bend. Inhale up. Nice. Couple more. Keeping that rib cage open. All right, now we're going to hold. So slide down, grab a hold wherever you can on your leg, your ankle. If you're pretty flexible and you can bring the forearm to the floor and tuck that middle and index finger under your ankle with that forearm to the floor, you can go there, rib cage open. Then you're going to decide what you want to do with that top arm. You're going to keep the hand on the hip. You're going to reach it to the sky. Are you going to extend it beyond your ear? What do you need here? On your inhale, rise up. We're going to plant this right hand kind of diagonal back from the hip. And we're going to press into the sit bones and reach up and back. So open up your chest. Now, one more challenging variation to this is called Wild Thing, where you're coming up onto that right shin and reaching up and back. So only if you feel like lifting those sit bones off the floor. Just reach up and back, gaze can come back. And release back down. Nice. We're going to switch sides here. So right leg out, left foot's resting inside the thigh. Again, prop that knee if you need to. Left hand to hip. Exhale, lengthen over. So it's a lateral bend, right? We're not turning and facing it. It's a side bend and up. All right, last one. We're going to hold. So pressing that left knee open, rib cage opens, finding that place to rest that right hand, and then deciding what we want to do with the left arm. On your inhale, unwind. Take that left hand diagonal and back. Reach up and back. Gaze to the ceiling. Or moving into Wild Thing, up onto that knee. Reach up and back. So you're pressing in to that right foot. To just extend through that leg and reach out and back. And release. Nice. Lower down, feet together in front, rock side to side. On your next exhale, keep the blocks nearby, roll down the spine. Hug the knees into the chest. And now we'll plant the feet to the floor, nice and close to the buttocks, hips width apart. So your ankles are stacked under your knees. On your inhale breath, lift your hips, reach your arms up and back behind you for a bridge pose. We're going to flow. Exhale, roll down the spine, lower the arms. Inhale, hips rise, arms reach up and back. Exhale, roll down the spine. Couple more. Now the next time you lift, we're going to hold. So lift and hold your bridge. Breath, deep, even, smooth. Great time to check in with that. You should be able to see the rise and fall of your belly. Next exhale, roll down the spine. Give yourself another hug. Rock side to side. Send your right leg long. Take your left foot and rest it right on your right thigh. Take your left arm out to the side at shoulder height, and we're just going to use the right hand now to guide your left knee over to the right. So it's just rested on top of that thigh. So a supine twist here. Return back to center. Send the left leg long. Right foot comes onto the left thigh. Right arm out for stability, nice and wide across the chest. And then just guide that right knee to the floor on the left. Try to keep that right shoulder blade to the floor. Stay nice and open across your chest. And return to center. Open your legs long. So here we're going to take a fish pose. So last week we did the supported fish. So these are your options. Supported with the block between the shoulder blades. Arms are out at the sides. You can let the head drop back. You can prop with a blanket, whatever. If you want to try the full pose, the hands come underneath the low back, under the sacrum. Palms are to the floor. You press into your elbows to lift the chest, and I'm just sliding onto the crown of the head. So I'm lifting the chest. So my head, there's no weight in it. I'm pushing in to my forearms. So either supported or unsupported, just open up the front of your body. Breathe deep. And exhale, slide back on the head, lower down. Give yourself one final hug, rock side to side. And then we'll move into our final relaxation. So today, you can try taking your feet wide, knees are bent, and just let your knees knock knee together at center. So the feet are just wide enough that the knees touch. It kind of softens your low back. Arms again at the sides, palms turned upward. And if this doesn't work for you, take any variation of your relaxation pose that you need. But if you can try that supported, sometimes it's just nice in the low back. But give yourself a few moments to settle into your pose. Make your adjustments. The lesson of the heart is that we must fully love and accept ourselves before we can love and accept others. Begin to let your body settle and begin to notice your breath. Spread your collarbones wide. Open up the space that holds your heart. If it's comfortable for you, you can bring one hand to your heart and the other on top of your belly. Bring your awareness to the space that surrounds your heart. Notice this space rise and fall with your breath. As you inhale, feel your belly expand and fill your lungs with fresh air. As you exhale, feel your belly contract, emptying out and creating space for new awareness. Now imagine you're breathing in a large green light through your nostrils, settling down and into your heart space. It brings with it warmth, making the entire upper body feel toasty and cozy. As you breathe, allow this light and warmth to grow. Only by opening our hearts can we allow love to come in. If you have felt pain, perhaps a broken heart, you've opened yourself up enough to expose yourself to vulnerability. This is a courageous move. By doing so, you can extend light onto those who need love. Take a moment here to call to mind someone or multiple people whom you love. Bring their faces very clearly into your mind's eye. Now allow love to radiate from your heart space out and into this person or people. Now call to mind someone or multiple people who you have a tough relationship with. Bring their face very clearly into your mind's eye. Now allow love to radiate from your heart space out and into this person or people. Now call to mind yourself. Picture yourself here in this room. Bring your face very clearly into your mind's eye. Now, using all this love, compassion, and openness cultivated here in this space, begin to wrap yourself up in love, sending it out from this space that holds your heart. Peace Peace. Peace. Now, as you prepare your body to reawaken, start to bring some movement to your fingers, your toes, your head and neck. Then gently rub the palms of your hands together. Place the warmed hands over your eyes and open your eyes to the warmth and energy of your own hands. Slowly draw your hands down and let in the light of day. Take a moment here to do what feels natural. Massage the temples, the forehead. Maybe you need a stretch or hug the knees in. Whatever feels right. Then before rolling to your right side, take a big breath in. Sealing in that open heart, that love, that compassion that you cultivated. And exhale. Get rid of whatever you don't need. Roll to the right side of your body in fetal pose and allow the weight of your body to melt away from your heart. And let your heart feel light. When you feel ready to rise to your seat, rise slowly and carefully. Take a moment for gratitude, thanking yourself, your body, for bringing you here, for moving you on your mat, for allowing you a moment or a practice to expand your heart, your love, your compassion. And then a moment to acknowledge the positive energy each of us has brought to the space today. And together, we say namaste. Thank you.